So, are you going to the Singapore Grand Prix for the first time? Are you looking for some helpful hints and tips coming from someone who's actually been to the Singapore Grand Prix already? Hi, my name is Lauren. I have been to 4 Grand Prix so far. 3 in Australia and 1 in Singapore, and I will be at the Singapore Grand Prix later this year as well. By no means am I an expert on actually going to any Grand Prix so far, but these are just some things that I've actually found really helpful for me. Anyway, you are going to be seeing a lot of videos over the next couple of months in regards to going to the Singapore Grand Prix for the first time. And I thought, you know what's the first thing you probably would need to do when you want to go to a Grand Prix? And that's buy some tickets. From my own personal experiences of actually going to sporting events around the world, the first thing I always do is buy tickets. That's the first thing I do, even before I've actually got leave approved, before I've booked flights, before I've even booked accommodation. The reason being is because, well, you can guarantee that you're actually going to that event. And in the case that, say, for instance, your leave gets cancelled or doesn't get approved, offloading tickets by selling them is a hell of a lot more easier than actually having to cancel flights, cancel accommodation, or anything like that just because you've missed out on tickets. Now, there are many places you can go to actually buy Grand Prix tickets. The most official place that you can actually buy Grand Prix tickets is through this website down below here, which is actually the organizer's website. Now, if you are planning on coming to Singapore Grand Prix this year for the 2024 race, you might actually notice that a lot of those tickets are sold out on that website. Never fear. There are also authorised ticketing partners that the Singapore Grand Prix actually goes through, where you can actually purchase certain tickets, whether that's walkabout tickets, grandstand tickets, or hospitality tickets. But buying tickets are crucial, and also understanding how the Singapore Grand Prix operates when it comes to ticketing is very crucial as well. Now, if you've been to another Grand Prix around the world, you might actually notice that Singapore runs it slightly differently, where they actually segregate it into zones. Now, as you might see on the circuit map here, you'll actually see that they've actually got it segregated into 4 zones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, zones 1 and 2 are usually where most of the grandstands are, all of the hospitality sections are, as well as the Singapore Flyer. Also, Zone 1 is where you'll see the drivers on the Friday and the Saturday. And Zone 1 is where the wharf stage is as well, where you might want to see music acts. Now, from last year's Grand Prix, who was playing at the wharf stage? We had bands like Culture Club, Kings of Leon, Madness, and also the Kooks as well. At the time of actually recording this video, they have not actually released the music acts, so we don't know, but just bear in mind that it's usually acts that actually keep the middle-aged dads happy, basically. Particularly if you came from sort of an 80s and 90s or maybe early 2000s era, where you might actually know some of those acts. The other ticket that's also involved with Zones 1 and 2 is Premier Walkabout. Now, Walkabout tickets are just basically a fancy name for the general admission tickets. Premier Walkabout, although slightly more expensive than Zone 4 Walkabout, will give you access to all of the circuit park. And it's pretty self-explanatory what Zone 4 will actually give you access to. So if you've got a Zone 4 ticket and you want to see, say, the drivers in Zone 1, you will not be able to do that. Your ticket doesn't give you access to that. However, what do Zones 3 and 4 actually give you? Firstly, Zone 3 is just a transit zone for those people needing to go between Zones 1 and 2 and 4. Zone 4 is where Zone 4 walkabout tickets can actually have access to the Padang Grandstand, the Connaught Grandstand, and also the Empress Grandstand as well. The other thing that Zone 4 actually gives you access to is the Padang as well, which is where the Padang stage is. Now, who was the music acts last year on the Padang stage? Well, that was the major headliners. So that was Post Malone, that was Robbie Williams, some of the more famous Asian acts such as Jackson Wang, who actually came out as well. And then also on the Sunday afternoon was also Groove Armada as well. So they will be where the major music acts are. However, my rule of thumb is that if you are planning on buying a ticket, generally the cheapest ticket will give you less access to all the zones. The more expensive the ticket is, the more access you'll get to the zones. So I do hope this information does give you some sort of idea of what you would be expecting on what tickets you want to buy. But also from experience, it's best to get tickets as soon as possible. And then in the case you cannot go, you can easily offload them because they'll be easier to actually sell than needing to cancel flights and accommodation. So I hope you found this information useful, and I look forward over the next few months to be giving you some more information about coming to the Singapore Grand Prix. All right, peace out, guys.